I wanted to ask you, I've been thinking ever since, like one of the first things that comes to mind whenever I think of journalism is what is the current state of investigative journalism in India right now? I remember, okay, if I can highlight one, there was a very interesting article that Midday had done in the pandemic about these mask people who would catch people on the roads for not wearing masks. They were like just hired individuals who, and midday journalists had gone undercover to these organizations who are hiring these people to catch and basically scam people because people are not aware of the laws. And Midday had gone undercover. One of the journalists had gone undercover and gotten himself signed up as one of these mask tenders or whatever. And then he basically highlighted what all things they're catching people on, how they're doing it, why it's wrong. And that was a very interesting article. We actually talked about it on Cyrus Says back in the day when it had happened. So what is the current state of investigative journalism in India right now?
Sakshi,
you want to ask me? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. See, just like you mentioned Midday's article, I'm sure that there are many people who are doing it, but then I think that only print media is doing it. The only issue today is that only print media is doing it. And when while I was referring to 2014, I remember all those sting operations जो होते थे, and then parliament में उठते थे, and then there used to be some kind of resignations somewhere. Today, there are only sting operations happening against the opposition. That is also another issue. I mean, investigative journalism is only left for the opposition today. So it's not that they can't do it. They can, but when it's only against certain leaders who are from any opposition party. Otherwise, I don't see any investigative journalism happening in any of the electronic media. But yes, print media is definitely doing it.
Cobra Post, I think, does a little bit, no? If I'm not wrong, I could be wrong.
Those sting operations, they do.
Sting operations,
yeah. But then I don't think that, if you just try and look back, I don't think that there have been many investigative reports in front of us. Because if that happens, obviously you'll have to, ask so many people, so many questions. And then who is the channel who is going to give space to that? That Cobra posting or whoever's done that, who is going to ask those questions? That is the issue. They are not letting their own reporters do it. So why would they hire someone else to, show something which they can't? So
this is actually very important, right? Because this hiring part is also important. So Antariksh, also you have to understand the business logic behind this as well, which is what Sakshi says. Of course, there are political compulsions and whatever, but another factor is investigations are expensive. Like for example, this Midday thing you were talking about, right? So let's assume that this person infiltrated himself in this tribe of people with masks, etc., and was there for 5 days, right? And then was like observing, etc. Took 2 more days to write the story. Then went to the editor. Now the editor took maybe 1 or 2 more days to edit the story. Then a graphics team came in which created the graphics. Then it went on paper. Then it went on whatever. But that time that the journalist took 7 days he wasn't able to do any other story. Right?
That's true.
For that 7 days, he was not able to give any other story to the newspaper, which is a daily newspaper, right? Which means that the per resource expense of that newspaper just blew up according to this one story, right? Then the editor was not able to edit any other story other than this for the 2 days, right? So investigative journalism, the thing is that it's expensive for news organizations to do, right? I would actually like to ask Sakshi this also, because you are a one-woman operation. If you had to do like an investigative piece of journalism, is it even possible for you to do it? What are your thoughts on that? Like a deep dive investigation, right?
Not really, Meghnad, because even I have to work every day. Sometimes I do take, I do take breaks, but then I have to produce something on my channel almost every day.
Yeah.
So if I start doing something which takes so many days for me, my whole pattern will just go. I don't know what will happen to it, because my whole platform wants my followers to keep seeing what I'm showing them in in terms of news. So if I just disappear for a few days, so my page will just stop working, and my YouTube channel will not have any more subscribers, and I will not grow. So it is difficult for me. Had I been a complete, I had been a company or something like that, and I had so many people working for me, I could have thought about it. But then not being just single-handedly, doing something for myself. I can't do it. I
Yeah.
can't think of it.
And maybe that is one of the reasons why even
Yeah.
many digital media are not able to do, like
Investigative,
deep
yeah.
dive investigative journalism, right? So daily stories, everybody is able to do. Like, I give this one example, Sakshi, and I've been trying to teach this to like whoever wants to learn, I guess. But in Parliament now, there is this questions portal, which you go to the Parliament website and you search for questions. And even if you search like things like cows, goats, whatever, you will get thousands of answers that the government has given, right? Now, each of those answers can become one story, right? It will literally take me 15 minutes to write a daily story. If I was a daily beat reporter, it would literally take me, I'll go to the Parliament website, I'll search for something, because nobody is reading those questions, right? Nobody even knows that exists. So if you are a smart daily journalist, you can finish your job very quickly. But for an investigative journalist, that it becomes way more difficult, right?
Especially when you don't know what you're going to get in the end, whether you're going to get what you're actually looking for.
Absolutely.
That's also
So
actually
then-
a very difficult thing to deal with, right? For long-term investigations, like Caravan, for example. There have been so many instances where Caravan had to drop stories because they start with an assumption or a plan of a story. They work on it for like 15 days. But then it just ends up somewhere else, or it doesn't end up in a proper place, or there's no conclusion, there's no evidence, there are no facts, whatever it is. They just drop it, which means 15 days of work completely wasted. And that happens.